Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare.
Pisces rising, hello. What is going on, my lovelies? So much to get through today, right? We're doing your June 2021 astrology and tarot update. You know how it goes. I pull up your chart, your natal chart, based on your rising sign. We're going to use the Astro Soul Oracle deck to see what specific energies we need to focus on for June. Happy Gemini season, by the way. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards, some tarot cards. I'm using a new oracle deck that I'm really excited about. I'm using the Creativity Oracle, which I haven't used yet on my channel. And then I'm using Mystic Mondays for tarot, which I haven't used in a while. So I'm pretty excited to do these videos. There's definitely there's a lot to say about astrology for June. There's like retrogrades all across the board. Saturn is in retrograde. Jupiter is going to be in retrograde. Neptune is going to be in retrograde. And this is in June. Mercury is going to be in retrograde. Pluto is currently in retrograde. So a lot of that going on. Tomorrow we're going to have our full moon, our super full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So I'm very curious to see if we pull the the eclipse card for the Astro Soul. We're going to see though. We're going to see what cards we pull out for your reading from the Astro Soul deck. We're going to match it up to the natal chart that I have up according to our current astrology. And we're going to go from there. We're going to see what energies to read. Spiritual guidance all the way. You guys know how I do. What else can I say for my little intro? I do have my iced coffee hiding over here, and it's actually really good. I love this cup. You can see it. It's like a little tiki cup. My old job, the one that I got booted from because of COVID, I was working for some cruise ships off the pier, and they were like getting rid of a bunch of stuff, so I took the little tiki cups. But what to say? Oh yeah, I do personal readings. I do astrology, birth chart analysis. If you live in Chicago, I live in Chicago. In order to get any kind of personal reading from me or astrology reading, my contact information is down below. You're just going to email me at tarotreadings@TESATABOO.com. And if you live in Chicago, I can do an in-person reading for you. So that would be really cool. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done any in-person readings yet, but I would love to do in-person readings. So hit me up if you live in Chicago. And then, let's see, what else can I tell you guys? I'm about to hit my 1-year anniversary since I started this channel. And because like shit hit the fan right after I started this channel, it's been a very steady, slow progress. So like, oh my God, I think I'm at 92 subscribers. I would love to hit 100 subscribers. Like, I'm just asking for 8. I would love to hit 100 subscribers by June. So basically by the time I upload all 12 of these rising sign videos, because I started this channel exactly 1 year ago with June 2020. So that would be really cool. So, you know, if you want to help me out with that, of course I want you to like the channel, you know, I want you to like what I'm doing here, but that would be really sweet. If you really want to support me, I definitely appreciate donations, even if it's like a couple dollars a month. Honestly, like that would go a really long way. I did have to get a part-time job. I finally got a part-time job bartending, so you know, gotta pay the bills. So yeah, that's pretty much my spiel. You're always gonna see this background changing. I'm always doing home improvements. I'm always like building my own shit and like coming up with like new ideas to do stuff and like trying to do it the cheapest way possible. But yeah, so like things are always kind of gonna change in reference to the background unless like something really, really feels right. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I can't believe I kept my intro under 5 minutes. Sometimes my intros go on for like 10 minutes. Like, Jesus. Okay, so I'm shuffling the Astro Soul deck. We're going to see what specific astrology energies we're going to be pulling out for you The decks are pre-shuffled, all three, but I like to give them a nice little shuffle on camera as well. And yeah, we're going to get into it, Pisces. Let's see what's up with you guys for Gemini season. All right. What are the energies that Pisces needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Pisces needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Pisces needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Pisces needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Pisces needs to focus on for June 2021? Alright. Just going to put that there until we shuffle all three decks. I got the Creativity Oracle. Pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to use this deck on camera for you guys. I've only just been using it for myself pretty much, so I'm excited to see what messages come out. What are the energies that Pisces needs to be focusing on for 2021, for June 2021? What are the energies that Pisces needs to be focusing on for June 2021? This deck is a little funky to shuffle because it's not, the cards are not really like flat. You know what I mean? They don't really lay flat. They kind of have this like metallic material. So it can kind of be difficult to control, but they're really, really cool cards. Alright, then we have the Mystic Mondays. What energies does Pisces need to be focusing on for June 2021? Ooh. All right, Pisces. Oh my God, I'm really excited. I feel like I haven't filmed in a while, and that's not even true. I just filmed like 2 weeks ago. But I don't know, maybe I just need to post more videos because I really like doing these videos and I like putting them up on YouTube and getting comments from you guys and stuff like that. So maybe I should start doing them more often, but now that I have a new job, we're going to have to see how that goes. Okay, gifts and lessons, South Node. So this is a very, okay, so the South Node is like this bigger energy that's going on, okay? The nodes shift every 1.5 years. And currently the nodes are in, the North Node is in Gemini and the South Node is in Sagittarius. So this is really interesting. So how the nodes work, the nodes are the nodes of the moon, okay? So it's like these 2 points. They also call it, according to ancient Vedic astrology, they're also referred to as Ketu and Rahu. Ketu is the South Node, the tail of the dragon. Maybe on one of these videos in the future, I'll kind of like tell you the history and the story of this dragon. I did read a lot about it, but as far as like Vedic astrology is concerned, I need to kind of like brush up a little bit more on that. But the South nodes are the nodes of the moon, so they're kind of like these 2 points. It's like this ecliptic plane that exists. It's an invisible plane that exists through the moon in reference to its orbit. So the way that it's like orbiting, you kind of like, there are these kind of like imaginary points that go north and that go south. So those points will point to a certain constellation, right? So currently, the South Node the south point, geographical point of the moon according to its orbit, and the ecliptic plane, is in Sagittarius. So when the south node is in Sagittarius, as far as the collective is concerned, so your birth chart, like, you know, your individual birth chart, whenever you were born, will have its own south node and north node. So that definitely comes into play as well. But currently, as a collective, the south node is in Sagittarius and the north node is in Gemini. So what we're doing right now as a collective is we're kind of like shedding, you know, we're learning how to shed the shadow energies of Sagittarius, kind of like the bad, or the, you know, the parts of Sagittarian energy that aren't really allowing us to fulfill our purpose and our destiny. The shadow side, which is, you know, Sagittarius is known to be very outspoken, very truthful, like they can be very angry, mutable fire. It's very, very reactive, and active and reactive, because it is mutable fire. So there is this kind of like toxic energy to Sagittarius where they can, you know, sometimes like don't really know how to have tact, or let me see, how do I put it? It's like old belief structures, okay? Because Sagittarius energy also stands for belief systems, okay? Even though Sagittarius is a very freedom-loving sign, and they're always kind of coming up with these new insights and ways of viewing the world and philosophies. Like, even though philosophy is a very mind-expanding, very like kind of a like free-thinking state of consciousness, it can still turn into a kind of dogma over time. So whether you're looking at religion, spirituality, philosophy, anything can turn into a kind of dogma if you become stuck in that kind of thinking. Like, let's say, you know, 10 years ago, you discovered this philosophy of life and you were like, oh my God, this is my truth. This is the truth. This is the philosophy that I'm going to live my life by. But then 10 years down the line, it's not really working for you anymore. Like, things change, right? Things change, life changes, people change, circumstances change. So whatever philosophy you were living off of 10 years ago might not be how you're feeling right now. So what this is forcing you to do is like let go and kind of release these old belief structures and philosophies that aren't really suiting you. But the cool thing about the South Node is that gifts and lessons, these are also things that, so it's kind of like, so the South Node, when you were born into this world, okay, you were already inherited with certain gifts, okay, like certain forms of wisdom that were just kind of natural to you that you can share with others, while other things you kind of have to gain wisdom through experience, from learning, from growing. But there's a part of all of us that finds comfort in certain things that are kind of inherent in us already. And the North Node, the opposite, stands for this energy that we should be attaching ourselves to in order to grow and become more balanced human beings, so we don't become so stuck on this like idea that this is the only way of life, that this wisdom that we've inherited is the only way to see things, when really there's so much more that we can learn. And it's kind of cool that the South Node is in Sagittarius and the North Node is in Gemini, because I feel like this is a really great, those two zodiac signs are really great ways, really great signs in order to explain the nature of the South Node and the North Node, because the Gemini energy is very curious. They want to learn new things. Gemini energy is very like, you know, they want to meet new people and socialize and just kind of like keep their mind open. And with the North Node being in Gemini, that's kind of what the North Node is. The North Node in general, no matter what sign it's in, is kind of about taking on new energies and taking on new perspectives in order to kind of balance out this, you know, more comfortable you know, wisdom filled individual that you were like born as. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. So gifts and lessons. So there are certain things that you were born that have been inherited to you as wisdom that you can definitely use to teach others. Okay, you can teach others your wisdom and share with them. And in this way, when you are sharing your wisdom with others, you are also releasing it in a way, and it opens you up to receive new information. It opens you up to receive new perspectives. Okay, so you don't want to keep this stuff in. You don't want to just like sit in your home, in your comfort level, not answering that. You don't want to just kind of sit around in this wisdom. You don't want to just sit around feeling these things and thinking these things without sharing them, because then you've kind of closed yourself off to receiving that north node kind of energy. So you want to release it, gifts and lessons. You want to give those gifts to others, give advice, give wisdom from what you have been inherited with, from something that just comes natural to you. This is stuff that just comes natural to you. You probably don't even know what you're doing it, but you do want to let that go so you can start receiving that north node energy. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. And the south node is in your 10th house, okay? And the 10th house represents your career, your work. So this is probably very relevant in reference to your job, okay? So whatever your career is, you know, you could be like in a managerial position, or you could be a really good manager. So this could be also like a way for you, like a message for you to consider maybe trying to become a manager or trying to move up in your company or in your career. Take it to the next step, take it to the next level, because you actually do have a lot to teach. You do have gifts to give. You do have lessons that you can contribute because you have experience and you have things to give. And when you do that, it's going to create a kind of natural flow of energy where you will be able to receive information from others as well. Take a sip of my iced coffee. A lot of information from this card, Pisces. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is really important. And the fact that we have our lunar eclipse in Sagittarius tomorrow, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like it's kind of cool that that came out, because that eclipse is, I mean, this is the moon, right? Like, that we're talking about here. And that eclipse is going to be, like, conjunct the ecliptic plane. So, hope that makes sense. Okay, so for the next card, we have the Virgo Constellation. Virgo. This was like popping out at me earlier for some reason. You have Virgo in your 7th house of relationships. Okay. So Virgo is in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships. So there could be a lot in regards to, I don't know, like you could have Virgo in your chart. And there's also something in regards to relationships, okay? Like there's something, no. How do I explain this? I'm getting a very specific feeling here, okay? And you also, there's a Vesta is in Virgo. Vesta is the asteroid that represents devotion. There's 4 different asteroids that represent different female energies. And the part of fortune is currently, okay. And this represents like devotion, and this is currently in your 7th house as well. So there's something kind of deeper going on inside of you. You know, you could be doing a lot of like reflecting right now in reference to a current relationship that you are in, or a partnership that you are in, or you are wanting to be in. I feel this more as like a certain kind of relationship dynamic that you are in right now, that you feel very deeply, that you like there's a deeper sense of devotion. There's this feeling inside of you like you want to devote yourself to this person, or you feel like you already are devoted to them, but maybe timing is kind of like weird. Yeah. There's something with relationships here. Let me see what the next card. The 5th house, I create. This is the Leo house. And you have Cancer. Mars and Cancer. This is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. Okay, so you could have children. So, okay, this is interesting. Okay, so with this Virgo energy, like, there's just something deeper that you are kind of analyzing in regards to a relationship or a partnership of some kind. Intimate, but like, and it could be, it's like, it's just like a deeper connection. You have some kind of connection, some deeper connection, with someone. And devotion plays a part here as well. It could be in regards to a commitment. You could share like a child with this person, and you are devoted to them because of this child in a way. For others of you, there could be someone in your life that you feel a kind of attachment, devotion to, and you're kind of like analyzing the relationship a little bit. With this I create 5th card coming out here, I get the sense that like you feel this deeper connection with this person, but you want to try, like, there's something where you really want to just focus on having fun. Like, you just want to focus on having fun and like creating, and just enjoying the more playful aspects of life. You know, you really want to kind of dive into your creativity, and, you know, enjoy being romantic, enjoy time spent with your children. If you do have children, not all of you will have children. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, and pleasure, games of chance. Okay. So all around, I'm getting the, okay, so basically I'm getting the feeling that you want to be in a relationship, but not just like any relationship. You want to feel devoted to someone, and you want the same, like, you want to feel like that person is devoted to you. Like, there's this strong sense of devotion at play here with that Vesta energy. Okay, there's a strong sense of devotion, like, that's kind of deeper, going on a deeper level, but on like a surface kind of level and in a reality kind of level, it's not playing out in that way, but it's something that you're feeling deeper within you, that is something that you want in your life. It's just that there's this other energy that's kind of pushing you to be a little bit more creative with how you express yourself, to be a little bit more creative and more playful and have a little bit more fun in reference to how you express that, okay? So I hope that's kind of making sense. We're going to jump into the Creativity Oracle, and the first card that I pulled is Stuck, okay? So there is something that we're stuck on over here, Pisces. You may be stuck because you are overly attached to a method or piece. And this is exactly what that South Node represents. South Node is like you're still hanging on to some stuff that is not really like helping you evolve, and it's not really helping you grow. And the first step to open yourself up is to kind of release that energy, okay? You may be stuck because you were overly attached to a method or piece. And you could also be very, like, attached to this idea of devotion and, like, maybe this idea that relationships should be a certain way, and you're not really getting it in that way. Like, you're always envisioning relationships to be something very specific, but it's not manifesting. Like, maybe you are able to manifest relationships, but it's not being manifested in the exact way that you are expecting or wanting. Or, you know, manifestation is tricky. Like, you can manifest something and get exactly what you want, but it's not going to show up exactly. Like, you'll get what you want, but it's not going to show up exactly how you want it. Okay, so overly attached to a method. Okay, so, and then this is the other thing, like, at work, you know, you probably have a lot of wisdom to teach people and things to share, but, you know, you might also be a little stubborn in regards to, like, how you want things done. So that could also be a reflection of this card as far as being attached to a method, you know, instead of maybe, like, hearing other people's ideas and opening yourself up to maybe trying it a different way. And the same thing goes for the relationship. So whether it's your job or whether it's a specific relationship, like, it seems like you just want things to be a certain way. And it's like, it seems to me like you really need to open yourself up to try things a new way and to try things differently and not to be so stuck and rigid on only one way of doing things. And then we have secrets, conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. Okay, that's very interesting to come out after all that. Interesting, okay. So maybe like this is kind of like saying you don't need to share everything. Like, maybe on a deeper level, you do feel a sense of devotion to a specific individual, but maybe, like, just it's not time to share that yet. Maybe it's not time to share that part of you yet. And you just need to, like, have fun, right? With that Leo energy coming out there with that 5th house, you know, just kind of like open up your creative world a little bit more, be a little more playful, be a little more relaxed, you know, don't take things too seriously, perhaps. Conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. Okay, so if you do have a plan, you know, like maybe you're trying to get a new job, or, you know, there is something that you are, maybe you're working on a project, it's totally okay to not, you know, talk about it with people until you're, like, ready, you know. You know, like, whenever we try something new in our lives and it's something that we really want to implement on a regular basis, sometimes we want to make sure that all the pieces are in the right place and things are actually set in stone before we start talking to people about it. I can definitely, like, relate to that energy because, you know, sometimes we feel like when we have an idea, if we talk about it, it's going to, like, jinx it, or it's not going to happen, or we're not going to do it. So it's like, you know, you want to do it first before you talk about it so you don't jinx it or something like that. Okay, and then we have recycle. Learn from the past and apply it to creating your vision of the future. Okay, so this is also about those lessons, about learning things and recycling. I mean, that's totally what I was talking about as well, as far as recycling. When we learn and release, we're able to allow new energy to come through. So when we're recycling, like, instead of holding on to, like, old energy inside of us and, like, dwelling on it and constantly, you know, circling it in our head, if we actually recycle it and we express that energy and share that energy outward, we're kind of releasing it. We're putting it back into the atmosphere and just kind of, like, letting it go. And then we allow like a portal for new energy and new ideas and new expressions to come through us. You know, it could be through like a friend. Like, let's say you go to a friend and you tell them like, oh my God, like this fucking chick, or like, or whatever, like this happened or this happened or this happened. And then they offer, you release it. Oh my goodness, my computer. You release the energy to your friend, and then maybe they offer advice or whatever. They say something and you're like, huh, well, I didn't think about it that way. So this is going to be a long video, Pisces. I still have to pull the tarot cards. So hopefully that makes sense. Learn from the past and apply it to creating your vision of the future. Okay, so yeah, it could. I feel like that's definitely involved in that Virgo, that relationship dynamic that you were involved in, or that you're thinking about or trying to analyze. And it's like, you just need to learn from it and move on and really think about like what the lesson is here, and really start to create in more detail the life that you want to manifest. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull these tarot cards so we can wrap this video up. I don't like going over 30 minutes. So we have the Two of Swords, which is Moon in Libra. This is about making a choice. Okay. I think you're feeling a little stuck and you're trying to decide what kind of choice you want to make. And then we have another Two of Wands, and this is Mars in Aries. This is also about making a choice, but this is also kind of about taking a chance. And then we have the Three of Swords, which is Saturn in Libra. So basically, I'm just going to say it like straight out. This is exactly what I envision. You're trying to make a decision about whether you want to reach out to this person that you had some kind of intimate, devoted kind of relationship with. You end up taking a chance and going for it, but maybe you're not really getting the response that you wanted, okay? And maybe they say something that is going to hurt you, or it didn't really go the way that you wanted it to go, the way that you expected it. And in all honesty, like, I feel like it's kind of like right there in your face. Like, the lesson here is pretty much like not to have expectations, because when you have expectations, like, you get hurt, you know? Like, so it's like, is your heart coming from a pure place? Like, are you coming from a pure place, or are you just trying to get like what you want out of the situation, you know? And it's pretty much just like, you really need to just like follow your intuition. And like, this doesn't mean just because it's a Three of Swords and like the heart is pierced, it doesn't mean like over the end, like bye-bye. Like, it just means that it's Saturn in Libra is pretty much like the lesson with this Saturn in Libra card is that people are not always going to say what you want to hear, or they're not always going to act in a way that you're going to like, because Saturn is all about lessons, and Libra energy is like relationships, right? So with the Three of Swords over here, it's kind of like, it's trying to get you to open up to kind of like see things in a new way. It's kind of like learning from your pain. Okay. It's kind of like learning from the hurt. Okay. Learning from the pain, learning from the hurt, and like allowing yourself to grow from it. Okay. So need to make a decision, and you're going to use your intuition with that Two of Swords. And then we have another two card. So this is really about, but this is Two of Wands, which is Aries, Mars and Aries. So it's just kind of like going for it and being like, all right, let's just do this. And then, you know, maybe just not exactly getting precisely what you wanted out of it, And this is where you need to learn the lesson. Learn from the past and apply it to creating your vision of the future. Learn from it, grow from it, and just next time, maybe you're going to say things a little differently. Maybe next time you're going to express yourself a little bit better. You're going to actually communicate the things that you really want to communicate with this individual, instead of constantly expecting things that aren't conducive to your growth, right? Okay, Pisces, so this is your reading. I really, really hope this helped. June 2021. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.